Hi, my name is Michael Gapper. I'm the Communications Manager for Frontier Developments.
So let's talk a little about E3. One of the big things is Xbox One. What does that open up for Elite Dangerous?
Well, one of the big things obviously opens up is a hell of a lot more players. We've already got a great audience on PC. We want to go where the players are. We've got a lot of fans on Xbox One. You know, Frontier already has a really good fan base there. We've had a lot of games on Xbox One. Amazingly, this uses the same engine, so our engine was absolutely primed for Xbox One. And Elite Dangerous on Xbox One, it gives us a new base of people to test the game. We released on Monday, and we want fresh eyes on the game. New people testing our new gamepad controls, testing our new CQC multiplayer mode. It's coming in a couple of months.
So how has the game been optimized for an Xbox One gamer?
Well, one of the big things is our new control system. We've absolutely optimized it for gamepad controls. Now on PC, people are already using the gamepad, and they often use it in conjunction with a keyboard and that kind of thing. Put a lot of hotkeys on the keyboard, use the gamepad for basic flight and that kind of thing. Well, for Xbox One, we had to give people all of those controls on the controller like that. Because there's a lot of controls in the game. This is a complicated game. You can do a lot of things. You can be stealthy, you can go and scoop cargo, you could be mining, assigning different weapons to different firing groups, so you can rack up one set of weapons on one button and another set of weapons on another button. These are all complicated things. So we wanted to put those at a single button press. You can hold down a button in our game. When any one of the face buttons, it'll bring up a context menu. That's new to Xbox One, and we'll be bringing that to PC later this year in a free update. It means you can access everything from a gamepad now. You don't have to go and look into the context menus. You don't have to look into the UI menus. You just hit one button, pull up the context menu, tap on the D-pad, hit the shoulder buttons, and those give you all the important controls at your fingertips.
Now this is a pretty expansive game. Talk a little about what all will be involved with the Xbox One version.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, like, what are all? I'll just ask again. But can you talk about the different modes and gameplay that's packed into the Xbox One version?
Well, one of the things we obviously got on Xbox One, one of the things Microsoft have done with the game preview program is give you an hour-long trial. And what I'd recommend is players play just the training missions, because it is a complicated game. It is a deep game. But our training missions, I think, are really exciting. They get you into exciting combat straight away. They show you how to land, how to take off, how to go into hyperspace, and they show you all of the important basics of the game. What they don't do is let you into the main galaxy. Now, what we've done is we've brought the whole PC galaxy, the one that's running on PC, the one that's running on Mac, and we brought it to Xbox One, completely uncompromised. That's 400 billion star systems. The entire Milky Way modeled at its full scale. Now, we're not messing about with this. This is real science we're throwing at this. We're making it as realistic as we possibly can. When you fly in our game, it's pretty much as close to flying in space as you could. The physics are completely convincing. The controls on the ship feel so credible. You feel like you're really inside this, this realistic ship in the year 301. We don't have spaceships right now covered in guns, so that's one of the things that makes this even more fun. You're going to be able to go out there and you get to do whatever you want. Be a miner, be a pirate, be an assassin, be a trader, be an explorer. I like to explore, and with 400 billion star systems, that's a lot of exploration. And of course, we brought over the full massively multiplayer functions of the PC and Mac version. It's completely uncompromised. As you're flying around, you'll run into other players. Maybe you'll group up, maybe you'll team up, maybe you'll fly together, maybe you'll fight each other. Because in our game, friendly fire is always on. It means any encounter you have is always dangerous, and that's the name of the game.
What's it been like developing this for virtual reality with Oculus?
Surprisingly easy. It's incredibly easy, in fact. The Oculus SDK is very friendly. Back when we were still in our beta test, we just come out of Kickstarter and we released an alpha to players. At that point, one of our engineers said, I'd like to take a crack at this Oculus thing. That was back when he had the DK1 case. I'd like to take a crack at this Oculus thing. And the company president and CEO, David Braben, said, okay, but let's not put too much time to it. Let's see how far we can get in a couple of days. Well, in a couple of days it was working, it was fully functional, and the experience was incredible. Now with the DK1 the resolution was a little lower, so you couldn't really read the UI and everything, but it was still the most incredible experience. So we released an alpha just before Christmas. She got so much interest from players. We were amazed at how many people in our player base had a DK1 to play with. Since then, we supported DK2 all the way, and we'll be looking at other VR headsets in the future, because VR really is incredibly exciting. It's an amazing way to play Elite Dangerous. You don't have any problems with immersion because you're not walking around. You're always in the cockpit of your ship. You're always in first person, so you put those goggles on, you look around. We have all of our UI is like holographic, so you look to your right, it pops up here. You look to your left, it pops up here. Feels natural. As you're chasing ships, you're watching them go overhead. all of that kind of thing is something that's so natural with VR. You're just sitting in the chair, grabbing the flight stick. It makes it feel, I think driving games, flying games like this, feel much more natural right now than first-person shooters, but I know a lot of people are working on that problem.